Everyone. We will be working with Lightroom all year as we import photos and edit them and all that kind of stuff. So I want to make sure we're all on the right track. Excuse my messy desktop for a minute, but let me show you how to go about this. When you come back from a shoot, let me just clean things up. When you come back from a shoot and you have your SD card and you've got your hard drive, don't just download your pictures onto your computer. What'll happen is they're going to get lost, and that computer is going to get full really fast, and your pictures will be deleted. So here's what you do. Get your SD card, which is mine is right here, and get your hard drive, which is right here for me. On your hard drive, last week you made a couple folders, and if you haven't, talk to me so that we can make sure you get them straight. You should have one with your name and the word photography. And when you open that up, you should have a folder that says images, and then a folder that has your catalog. Mine is named Dave Catalog. Yours could be just catalog, or you might have used the Lightroom folder. Okay? So any of those work. It could be in Lightroom, it could be in catalog, but you have to make a decision and then not change it after that. So I'm not going to go to my computer and try to find Lightroom. I don't need to do that. I'm going to go to my hard drive, open my catalog folder, and double click my catalog, which is this one with a little icon, the little Lightroom icon, and the extension is LRCAT, Lightroom Catalog. So I'll double click this. This launches Lightroom, and it's going to start finding my previous photo. Now this is a brand new catalog I made just for this demonstration, so I don't have any photos in it, as you can see. I'm going to go ahead and import my latest photos. So I click import, and I browse to my SD card, and I've named mine Dave SD, and that's what comes up right here. So these are a bunch of my photos from a last shoot. I have a lot of photos here, and sometimes it might take a little while, if you go down, for this to catch up and fully load. For today's purposes, I'm not going to try to import a lot. I'll just import a couple pictures. So I'll import this one, that one, and we'll go for this one. Okay? So I've now picked what I'm importing. I need to make sure that this top bar says copy. Here's what'll happen if I don't. Copy as DNG it changes the format to another kind of raw file, not a big deal. Move will move it off my SD card to wherever I'm going to send it, which might be good, but if anything goes wrong, then I'm going to lose it completely. And add will just add the photo to my catalog, but it won't actually move the real photo. It'll keep the photo on the SD card. So if I were to click add, whoops, not even going to let me. If I were to click add, and then I pull my SD card out and wipe it, I'm going to lose my photos. So make sure you're on copy. Now, it looks like my window's a little too big, so I'm going to make sure you can see everything. So now I need to make sure I know where it's going to go. Because you're sharing computers, it's very possible that if you don't watch this step, your photos will go to another student's catalog, not yours. So make sure you pick the destination. And my destination is going to be my hard drive, which is called Dave. And you'll see that Lightroom will automatically try to make this date folder just loose on my drive, but I don't want that. I want Lightroom to go to David Photography, and then I want it to put my images in my images folder. And you can see that now it's going to put 4 pictures in my images folder. So I just double check. I make sure I know what I'm importing. I have 4 pictures. I am copying them from my SD card to my images folder. And then I'm going to go ahead and click import. This will just take a minute, and I can watch my progress up here, and you'll see it's pretty quick. And now it's done, and that looks great. But I really want to see them in the right way. Now this is called an embedded preview, and it's a really low quality version of my photo. My photo is actually going to look much better than this. This kind of out of focus and a little fuzzy and no detail. So before I do anything else, I want to make sure I select all my photos, and I'm just going to hit Command A. And I come up to Library, Previews, and I'm going to build previews. And you can make standard size previews is probably a good one, or one-to-one previews. In this case, I will just make one-to-one previews. We'll talk about the difference. And you'll see that now it's going to build these previews, and it's actually going to save those previews right on my drive as well. Okay, so 4 previews were built. Now, when I look at them, you won't see a huge difference right away, but I can now zoom in and zoom out, and I can see more detail by doing that. Okay? So if I want to really check my focus, like let's say I want to check it right around here, I can start to get a better sense of what it's going to look like. And I can see that I'm in focus. All right, this is the grid view. This is the loop view. Before you do much with photos, it's a good idea to rate them, especially if you have a lot of them. To rate them, you can simply use these little stars and your pointer, or you can just click Set Rating. Okay, so the system I use is a 5, is a photo I'm definitely going to keep. I like it. I definitely am really going to do stuff with it. A 4 might be, it's pretty good. I'm probably going to keep this. I'm probably going to do something with it, but it's not my best. A 5, I'm going to keep that as a 5, and that's it. Now, when I'm rating my photos, I might have 5s, 4s, 3s. I don't usually rate 1s and 2s, but sometimes I do. And then sometimes I can look and see, you know, what I've rated as a 1. Let's say you've got 100 photos in here and you really want to narrow it down a little. You just want to see the 5-star photos. You want to see your best of the best. Well, you can come right down here to Filters Off, and you can actually, or right over here, and you can actually change that to Rated. And here, if I click 5, it's just going to show me all 5-star and higher photos. I could say all 4-star and higher, and that shows everything in this catalog. But as you get more, you might want to do that more and more. Okay, now there's one more thing that I can do today, and that is called making a collection. So let's say that I want to make a collection, and I'm going to go ahead and click this plus sign, and I'm going to click Create Collection. I give this a name. I'm going to call this Beach. In fact, I'll narrow it down. I'll call it Reed State Park, which is where I shot these. And in this case, I might include my selected photos, or maybe I want to make that decision after. And I click Create. You'll see that I now have a collection of Reed State Park, and I don't have any photos in there. So I'm going to change my ratings to 4 and higher, and I'm going to start dragging them into my collection. Now I think I can also right click, and I can usually add to a collection. In this case, it's a quick collection. That's slightly different. So I'm just going to keep doing it like this, and I'm just going to add these to my collection. Now, I only have 4 photos, so it's not a big deal. But when you have like a few hundred or even a few thousand photos, you might want to have a lot of different collections so that you can come to Lightroom and quickly see all your photos in one section. And that's the basic. Now, one more thing I can do, let's say out of these photos, there's one it's a 5-star and more. Well, I can come over here and I can change, and I can set a flag. I can change the rating, but I can also set a color label. On this one, I want to set red. I want to be able to see this photo out of hundreds of photos. Or maybe when I change my ratings, maybe I want to change it, and maybe I want to see all my red photos. Okay, so that's one more thing you can do. Remember, you don't have to be the one logged into Lightroom. It could be the other person on the computer. And you don't have to save your work. You just need to make sure that you take your hard drive, you eject your hard drive, and you shut down from Lightroom. And I really recommend quitting Lightroom. Okay? I hope that's helpful. That's what I'd like you to start class with today on Monday the 21st. And whenever you have a question about Lightroom, this video will be around. Thanks.